Hi there, everybody. This is Deaf to False Music, bringing you honest music reviews from the hills of eastern Kentucky. And it is snowy as shit outside right now. The white light you're seeing by my window, that's not light, that's just how fucking bright and snowy it is outside. It's about 5 to 6 inches at my house alone. I live out on a hill in the middle of nowhere, so I get it worse than most everybody in town. So, I'm curling up at home, a little cabin fever, but I figure I'll be okay, because I'm going to do another review. And this one is, we're continuing the My Morning Jacket discography, so we are doing My Morning Jacket Z! So, this one came out in 2005. And I think this is kind of their move to a major label. Actually, no, It Still Moves was their move to a more major label. Although I think they got to a bigger label with Evil Urges. I'm not entirely sure. Hold on a second. Okay. I really love this album. This one came out 2005. I didn't pick it up till like 2006-ish. But yeah, it's a really, really cool album. This one, they scale back the reverb a little bit. They scale back the ghostly sounds of the first three albums. And I think it's a more modern kind of rock album. And a lot of Jacket fans probably shook their heads at the strange production of this album. But I still love it. Well, the reverb is still there, but it's not as ghostly, it's more immediate, it's more in your face. It's actually probably the most accessible album that My Morning Jacket has ever released. This is a really short one too, where the first three albums were kind of 75 minutes or more. This one just is kind of a short, concise, kind of 45-minute album. 10 songs. It's a really straightforward, kick-ass rock and roll album. Most of these songs are pretty rockin', and none of them are extremely long like the last one. Although there is Don Dante, which is like 7 minutes, but that's like the longest song on the album. This one's only Lay Low, which is one of my favorite songs on here, is only 6 minutes. So these songs are more precise, these songs are more structured. The long Journey songs, aren't as prominent on this one. So it's really just a straightforward, really fun, listenable album. But there are a few experiments on this one. For starters, Into the Woods is a very trippy kind of strange folk song with some weird circus organ. So that's weird. But there's some really tender ballads like Knot Comes Loose. I really like that one. And some of these songs start out really skeletal and minimal, and then build into an explosion. Gideon is a perfect example of this. It starts out kind of floaty, weird ambient sounds, and then of course Jim James' soaring vocals, and then about 2 minutes into it, it just goes into overdrive and just starts kicking ass. Same thing goes for Don Dante. It has an amazing guitar solo, and kind of a weird Pink Floyd ending with a kind of a reverb saxophone. These guys really love reverb and echo, I've noticed. There's a lot of strange sounds on this one. So yeah, I really love this album. There's not a weak track on it. It flows beautifully. And yeah, it rocks. It's my second favorite My Morning Jacket album. We'll be getting to my favorite here in a little bit, and I'll explain why that's my favorite. So yeah, My Morning Jacket Z. Originality? I don't think it really even matters at this point. They're such an established band at this point, they can do whatever the hell they want. So, the next album, Evil Urges, is where they really establish themselves as an original band. But this is a great album too. Flow of this album is fantastic. It's just everything feels right. Side A, rock. Side B is a little more sublime. But everything just flows really well. And so I'm going to give this album an 8 out of 10. yeah, really, really damn good album. Anyway, this is Death to False Music, and I hope you enjoy this review, and Evil Urges is coming next, and that's going to be a long one, so stay tuned.